All right, these are some of the ACE problems that we worked on in class from pages 103 to 107. Okay, I'm going to go through them one more time for students that are still struggling with the concept of reading the data in a table and then putting it into a percent problem. So one thing I noticed walking around today is in reading a problem, there's still a little confusion as to what is the part and what is the whole. So I'm going to use color here to help that. So when you see a sentence like what fraction of the cats are female, when you see the term of the cats, that's the whole part, and the female, that's the part. So in other words, if I were going to set up a ratio table, instead of part to whole as titles, we're going to write the part to be female and the whole to be all cats. And then we have to read from the chart on the left and look at this section. That's the females. And then look at the bottom row. The bottom row here, these are all the cats. So if we look at all the cats, 47 plus 7 plus 36 plus 10, that adds up to 100. So there's 100 cats. But this part right here, just these numbers right here, that's the amount of female cats. So 7 plus 47 is 54. So 54 out of 100 is the fraction, but we can reduce by dividing by 2. If we divide by 2, we get 27 over 50. And so the fraction of the cats that are female is 27 out of 50. And what fraction of the cats are male, you still have the same whole. You're still looking at all cats. But we're looking at the males, and there's that many male cats because that's the male column. So 46 male cats out of 100 cats total. So that's the fraction. But again, I can divide by 2. And I would get 23 out of 50 as my simplified fraction. And then for part C, write each fraction as a decimal and a percent. We've been working on that. So if I made a little chart here, fraction first, and then decimal and percent. Actually, let's reverse the order. Fraction, percent, decimal from because we know the fraction for part A was 27 out of 50, but the percent, we want to look when it's compared to 100. So that, in this case, is 54%. And remember, percent means per 100ths. So when you read this, it's 54 hundredths. And so the decimal This is the tens place, and that's the hundreds place, so it's 54 hundredths. And then similarly, for the other fraction, 23 out of 50, that's 46% or per 100. So tenths, hundredths, 46 hundredths. So problem 7 is a little more challenging because the total is not 100. And that's what makes it interesting. But we still have to understand how to find that total. And that's why I made this video. So I'm going to erase everything here and start again with the reading. So what fraction of the, oh, it is still 100, I'm sorry, of the cats are kittens. So I think it's number 8, that's a little bit different. So we would have kittens on top, and we'd still have all cats on the bottom. So you would have to add up all the kittens. There's 17 kittens out of 100. And then the rest of this problem's the same idea. So we're going to move on to, you can finish number 7. Move on to number 8. And I'm going to put number 8 up by the chart there. Okay. Now when we read with the highlighter, it says what fraction of the kittens. So that's now the new whole. What fraction of the kittens are male? And what that really means is are male kittens. So the part is male kittens. This is a harder problem because we have to figure out how many kittens there are altogether. That's our whole. All kittens. There's 17 of them. And then male kittens. And there are 10 male kittens. So now we have a little more work because our whole is not 100. Still, the answer for the fraction part is 10/17. But for part B, you have to write each fraction as a decimal and a percent. So I'm going to use that same ratio table and build it up to be a percent problem. So for 8A, the answer is 10/17. But now I'm going to multiply by 100 using that same strategy we've been practicing. And then divide by 17 to get to 100. So up here I have to divide by 17. And remember, sometimes you have to do long division. So 17 goes into 1,000. 17 times 5 is 85. Bring down the 0. And then you have to kind of guess how many times 17 goes into 150. So if we just make some guesses, we could say, well, what about maybe 17 times, has to be a number bigger than 5, so maybe we'll start with 7. That's 119. So that doesn't look big enough. So you could continue to add 17s, or you could try another multiply 17 times 8. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 5 is 136. So add another 17 and see if you go over. 7 and 6 is 13. 153, so that's too big. So we know that 9 is too big, but 8 is going to work. So I'm going to erase a little bit of my scratch work here. And put in 136 here. And then when I subtract, on this problem, this is a much more challenging problem. We're going to round to the tenths place. So when I work this out, I get 140 because I'm going to put a 0, put a decimal in, and bring down the 0. And then I know that another 8 will work because 8 times 17 is 136. So I'm going to bring down one more 0, and 17 goes into 40 twice. That tells me since this is less than 5, my answer is about 58.8%. So the fraction is 10/17. That was the easy part. The percent is about, so we put a little squiggle, that means about 58.8. And then the decimal, so the way we read that is 58.8 per 100. So think about 58 hundredths for a minute. Then you have tenths, hundredths, and you have 3 digits, so it's 0.588. So just a quick aside, that is 58% as a decimal. If you have 59% as a decimal, it would be 0.59. Remember, you could always put zeros here. So 58.8 fits in between. So it has to be a number that's between 580 tenths hundredths thousands and 590 tenths hundredths thousands. So that would be 588. We'll have to work on that a little bit more this year. So for right now, if you could get to 58.8%, that's great. And we'll work more on the decimal later. All right, make sure to spend 30 minutes hard work. Hopefully you will get through a lot of these problems. The next set, starting with problem 9, I think they get a little bit easier. After 9 or 10, they start going back to totals being 100 instead of totals being other than 100, which is a little bit slower. But either way, you have to practice both. So work 30 minutes hard tonight.